Dun, 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 dun. This is my buyer consultation video. Okay, so find out if they've bought or sold before. I'll cover the process in order, but first, do you have any itching questions? What scares you about the process? Have you ever heard horror stories about the buying process? And then just ask questions until they start to share something. So let's say they bought before, and what was your experience like? And anything you remember from it? And what scares you about this process this time around? So go through the 5 W's if they haven't done this before, or if I haven't met with them before. The art of finding a home. So homes go on the market on Thursdays and Fridays, so those are the main times you want to be looking. Time expectations. So usually we'll just take a morning and go visit 5 to 8 homes. For a dry run, what we want to do, we're not looking for homes that we necessarily want to buy. We're looking to go and see what's out there and have practice looking at the homes. So when you find what you do want, you know exactly what you're looking for, any major costs you can avoid. An offer is a bilateral contract between you and the seller. It states that you're going to perform certain things and they are going to perform certain things. One of those is a inspection. We are allowed to go, or we put in an addendum, an inspection addendum, so that we can go into the home before we close and we can find anything that is damaged or needs to be repaired. At that point, we can terminate the offer if we are unsatisfied with the home, or we can negotiate with the seller, find out if they're willing to cover some of those costs or all of the costs. Let's talk about markets. So when you have a buyer's market where there's a lot of competition, that means that we need to be more willing to make it easy for the seller to accept our offer. That could be we're increasing the price. It could be that we're going to not include an inspection addendum, which means we have to do a little bit more due diligence, and it would be a stronger position to have a cash offer. So based off of the type of market we're in, we're going to adjust the terms of our offer to make it more acceptable to the seller, to give them more confidence things are going to go smoothly. We might increase our amount of earnest money. We want them to be happy, have the done deal. Contingencies are conditions that we put into a contract, and they ensure we're going to get what we want. If we put in a contingency and we fail to meet that condition, then we're in default on the contract. A number of things can happen at that point, but the bottom line is if we put in a contingency, we're going to expect them to make good on it, and we're going to execute on all of the contingencies that they give us. We're going to meet all of our due dates. About contingencies again, certain properties are different. Some of the rules are different in different counties. So the contingencies or addendums that we select will be based off of the property that we're making an offer on. A couple of those would be like a septic. So that's where we make sure that the septic system is in good working order. It's been inspected. Another one would be a well contingency. So we want to make sure that there's no contamination in the well. Contingent offers are great if you're trying to move out of your home and into the new home at the same time. So we make an offer to the seller, and in that situation, we put in an offer, they accept our offer, and they're giving us 45 to 60 days to sell your home so that you can use that cash to purchase their home. But that that adds a little bit of risk to the seller, because now what happens if you don't sell their home and now they've wasted that time not accepting another offer. A few things you can expect from me through this process: excellent communication, making sure that we hit all of our due dates, making sure that we don't miss any clauses in there that puts the offer in jeopardy, and giving you the information that you need to make good decisions. Typically, we have 3 days to deposit a earnest money. That will be typically wired from your bank to the escrow company. For example, Chicago Title. So you go to your bank, you'd wire money to Chicago Title. And earnest money is not money that you just lose. It's applied to the accounting at the end of the transaction. So that money applies, it gets credited to the purchase, so you don't lose it. Home inspections are performed by an inspector. We use a guy that has his own company. We've used him for many years. He's phenomenal. He catches stuff on brand new homes and lots of stuff on older homes. That may include a sewer scope, especially on homes that are a little bit older. Sometimes the tree roots have grown into the pipes. Maybe the toilets don't flush as well. We want to find out if there's a lot of corrosion in those old iron pipes down there. The current standard is PVC, but older homes haven't updated that. If we need to have a specialist come out, that may be, they're going to charge a fee for their specific skill. For example, like a chimney, if someone needs to come out and make sure that the gas is going to work for their fireplace, we'd have to pay someone to do that. Or we may ask the seller to pay for that. Okay, down payment's going to differ based on the type of loan you have. FHA loans, typically 3%. A conventional loan, you're looking at 10 to 20% of the market price, what you're paying. For financing, you're typically paying 1.5% of the total cost of the loan. So on a $650,000 loan, you're looking at around $10,000 for the financing based off of terms. So I'm not a financial expert. You'll need to talk with someone about that to get the correct numbers. Brokers are paid on commission, typically 3% of the sales price of the home. When a seller advertises a low commission, buyer brokers will see that, and it's less attractive for them to take clients to those homes. There's going to be communication throughout this process. I work directly with the listing agent, so throughout the process, she and I are going to be talking about details. Some of those will be important for me to share with you. Some of them will just be transactional in nature. You don't need to worry about it. The other communication that goes on is going to be between the brokerages and the escrow company. It's going to be between our brokerage and title insurance, making sure that your title doesn't have any encumbrances on it. I want to stress that we communicate well with each other. I respond very quickly to text messages. If I haven't responded within 2 hours, then you should contact me again. It's pretty rare that that happens. But I want to just emphasize again that having a quick reply from you is going to be important for us to be successful. Sometimes you'll have clients who just haven't answered their messages quickly, and we'll miss out on something that could really have been great for them. So need quick replies from you. The final walkthrough occurs 5 days before closing, and that gives you the ability to make sure nothing's been damaged while property's been moved. And if you come up with anything, then we can take that to the listing agent and negotiate. You get the keys at closing. Okay, so when we do an MLS search, I'll base that off of the property that we visited the first time. Typically, we'll put a range of price in there. So you're going to get a lot of homes, and from there, you'll be able to say, oh, I really didn't like that area, or that price is too high. So from there, we're casting a wide net, and then we'll begin to narrow down what you want. So if you're feeling like you're getting a lot of properties that you don't like, the best thing to do is shoot me a quick note and say, let's adjust the range down to here. The other thing to consider is if your limit for the purchase is $500,000, we want to search for homes that are roughly $510,000 to $520,000 because we're going to negotiate as well. It helps us to cast a little wider net. And we can always ignore the home or put in an offer, and they may just accept a low offer. We don't know the situation. So it's best to just try, and we get practice going through the process so you become more comfortable. During this time of the year, there are more homes and there's more activity. So there's going to be a little bit more competition to find those homes, and they're going to go more quickly. You'll see something pop up on the market, possibly within 4 or 5 days, that home will go pending. We want to be the first ones to get in there, and I want you to be comfortable looking at the home, evaluating it, looking for any type of problems with the home. Look under the sink, is there mold? You need to be thorough in looking through the home. I'm going to help you through that process. All right, so the list of people involved in this process: the buyer's broker, the buyer's managing broker, the lender, the lender's assistant, processor, underwriter, escrow closer, escrow assistant, title officer, home inspector, insurance broker, appraiser, notary, listing broker, and listing manager and broker. So the great thing is that we have a team. We have salaried employees, a transaction manager, and a listing manager. So a lot of these details that can be missed sometimes, we never miss them. You're taken care of. That's my buyer's consultation video.